one seeks to undermine the other, where there is competition, disrespect, and lack of cohesiveness is termed toxic. How do you know that your relationship is toxic? How can you handle or manage a toxic partner? What are the dangers of toxicity in relationships? These and more will be answered on Family Circle tonight as we examine handling toxic relationships. Here is a drama piece to set the mood for the program.
Honey, why are you home so early? Are you alright? Is everything okay?
Get me a glass of water to drink.
You have not answered me. Are you okay?
Woman, I said get me a glass of water to drink.
Now, wow. Okay. Did anyone die? Or did I do something wrong? Oh.
Mom.
What, my dear? What's the problem?
Mom, common entrance enrollment will be ending soon. And I have not purchased my form yet. Everyone in my class have bought theirs. It's just me that is left.
My dear, I know. But right now, I have a lot in my hands to do. See, your father is expecting payment from supplies he made. Please, why don't you go and meet him yourself? My daughter?
It's just one of those games at the moment, Clive. They're very undisciplined. Very undisciplined.
Dad, common entrance enrollment is closing and I have not paid for mine yet. Everyone in my class have gotten theirs, just me that is left.
My friend, will you get out of my sight? Do you and your mom want me to cut my finger off for you?
Mommy, Daddy said I should get out of his sight.
Sorry, my dear. Please calm down. I'll talk to him myself. Why do you have to shout at her like that? Don't you know she's a little girl and barely understands situations?
Oh, you know the situation on ground and you are sending her to me, right?
But you're expecting payment soon. You should be able to be responsible for these children's school fees at times.
Okay, you people should come and cut my fingers now and go and pay for common entrance before you know that I'm trying.
I think, my dear, you should better go and look for a good job or business instead of waiting for one contract or the other that doesn't come at all. I cannot be waiting and suffering like this.
Woman, please. I'm not in the mood for your wahala this evening. In short, let me go out.
Oh, you're going out again, ba? You better not come back to this house drunk again, oh. In fact, you're not going anywhere. Bring down money for drinks and pepper soup. It will fix dinner for us.
Woman, will you get out of my sight? Don't let me...
Slap who? Slap who? Enough is enough in this house. You don't have money, yet you come back drunk every night. See, I am tired of shouldering your responsibility, oh. All you do is drink. You better go and get something doing and take care of your family like other men do. Please.
Look at her mouth. Is it not your bad luck that is rubbing off me? Since I got married to you, nothing has been working and you are here complaining. Woman, take time.
Hey. That is what you are saying. That is why I will be the one to feed you, clothe you, and even fuel your car. Common children's school fees you cannot afford to pay. You say I am the one that is jinx. I should have known that it is from your family lineage. It is in your bloodline. After all, it is your mother that carried your family until she went to her early grave. I see. That is your plan, ba? To kill me and get another woman to continue working like Jackie while you sleep. Wake up! Go and drink yourself to super. Like your father, Abi, I should have known. Like father, like son.
Get out of my sight.
Hey, you're treating me awful that you came in this house.
Get out of my sight.
Oh! You will kill me in this house. Oh, you will not.
Get out of my sight.
Irresponsible man. You cannot get out for your family. Come and kill me.
While every relationship goes through ups and downs, toxic relationships are consistently unpleasant and draining for the people in it. Our resource person is ready now to take us through the ills of toxicity in relationships and how to handle or manage it. Join me in the living room with our guest. Hello, listener. This is the living room of Family Circle with me, Christy Okoli. Here again is a regular on the show, Temple Obike. He is a psychotherapist as well as a marriage and family therapist. Temple, you're welcome once again.
Thank you so much, Christy. It's always a pleasure to be here with you guys and talk about relevant things that affect homes and families. Thank you so much for having me.
Okay, today we are talking about toxic relationships. What makes a relationship toxic?
You know, I am a stickler for definitions that are simple and straight to the point everybody can understand.
Exactly what we need here.
You see, your relationship has become toxic when you and your partner can no longer afford to laugh about things that you used to find funny. When you can't laugh about the simple things and somebody's starting to take it too seriously.
Reading meanings into every little thing.
You know, nuances. Once your relationship has gotten to that point where either you or your partner, you're no longer free with each other and you cannot laugh over the simple things, your relationship has become toxic.
So what are the red flags or warning signs to toxicity in a relationship?
When you notice any of these things I'm about to mention, then it means that your relationship has actually gotten to a point where it's toxic. Usually the first sign that a relationship has become toxic, in my own opinion, Christy, is when you and your partner can no longer stay in the same space. You see a husband and a wife in a home, or two partners. Your partner comes in and everything in you wants to stand up and leave. The second thing is when you and your partner can no longer have a decent conversation without it ending in an argument. That also is a red flag that shows that your relationship has become toxic or is getting to a point where it's toxic. The other thing I will mention is that when you find out that there's always drama in your house, if somebody did not say something that somebody else said to the other person and you've gotten to a point where two of you are struggling, you know, you said this to me, I said that to you. Once there's drama, then it means that your relationship has become toxic. The other thing I'd like to mention here is this: when one of the partners decides to lower their standards for the other person.
But we lower our standards.
Do we? Are we supposed to really lower our standards? A lot of people do it. I understand what you're saying.
We compromise here and there.
People compromise, but at the same time, there are people who didn't even compromise a thing, and they still ended up getting every single thing they wanted in life with their partner. So compromise is a personal decision. So what really matters is, was it compromise on your own volition, or is it compromise that's situational? Is it situation that made you compromise? So the other thing I would like to mention is when you're constantly feeling drained in a relationship, then it means that your relationship is toxic. Then lastly, if I may add this, when you've gotten to a point in your relationship where you can't talk anymore, if your partner is there.
Like you're scared?
You're scared, yes. It means that something is happening. It may not be something you're fully conscious of, but it might just be something that's just there right beneath your subconscious. But there's something that's already telling you that you shouldn't be talking when this person is here. Yeah, so those are what I would consider red flags.
How do this toxicity manifest? Like physically, emotionally, or verbal abuse and the rest of them? How does it manifest in the home?
Well, one of the easiest ways to notice toxicity is when it comes to communication between couples. Couples who are already in a very toxic place, when they talk, most times their conversations are coming from a place of resentment, either from both of them or from one of the couples. And it's usually the one who usually doesn't get to talk, because that is passive aggressive behavior for them now, because they don't express themselves as often as they ought to when they communicate with their partner. If you listen very carefully, or to the trained ear, you would almost notice that the communication is slightly born out of resentment. The second way you would notice that a relationship or a marriage or something has become toxic is when you find out that there's a constant jostling for control. your partner is trying to always control the dynamics in the home. The third thing, and the third place I see it manifesting a lot, is with the kids. The moment partners become very toxic to each other, one of the things I notice happening in relationships today is that one of the partners suddenly tries to become the favorite of the kids. They play to the gallery when it comes to raising children. They try to tilt the affection. They try to sway or swerve the attention away from their partner with the kids. So it's actually a highly manipulative act. Manipulation sets in, so to speak.
So
Yes.
can a toxic relationship be managed?
Well, this is actually a very difficult one, because for you to even try to figure out if you can manage toxicity in your relationship, the first thing I think you need to do is figure out the extent to which the relationship has become toxic. Because I have seen people get battered trying to manage a toxic relationship. I heard of people who have lost their lives trying to manage a toxic relationship. The first advice I would give to people is understand the type of toxicity you're dealing with. Because when you know the type of toxicity you're dealing with, it will actually give you an idea of how you can manage that toxic type. But in a situation where it's become very toxic in your home, there's no shame in opting for a separation for some time until both of you reassess where both of you are with your relationship. From a distance, let's assess what we need to assess from a distance, rather than staying together and somebody's killing somebody and that.
Okay, what are the best ways of dealing with a toxic partner?
To figure out the best way to deal with a toxic partner, you need to know the type of toxic partner you're dealing with. At this point, I think it would be good for us to even mention the types of toxic people you have out there. Because toxicity, when you say somebody is toxic, sometimes it's a word I hear people, brandishing all around town these days. Oh, my partner is toxic. This person is toxic. But at the same time, you find out that these people who tell you that their partner is toxic are actually the toxic ones. I see people come in, pay for sessions and sit down and tell you about how toxic their partners have been. And just listening to them alone, you can almost tell that the person sitting right in front of you is the toxic one. Because a lot of things about toxicity is born out of what you call an NPD, a narcissistic personality disorder, where you have a grandiose perception of yourself. You think you're the one who is holding together the relationship. You think you're the one who is doing amazing things to ensure that things do not fall to pieces in your relationship.
You think you're perfect.
You think you're perfect, whereas you're the one who is not willing to be objective. So what a toxic relationship is not when you become lazy and you don't want to look at yourself or work on your relationship, and it's easier to label somebody else toxic. However, at this point, I think it will be good to speak about the types of toxicity we have out there.
Go ahead, please.
The first toxic type I would like to talk about is what I personally call, and by the way, I'm the one that gave them these names because you have to make this job fun for yourself at some point.
Okay.
There's something I call the guilt farmer.
Guilt farmer.
Yes. The guilt farmer is the guy or the woman who, when you're around them, you constantly feel like you're in a courtroom. Because all you're doing is constantly working to be in their good books. They don't see the efforts that are going in. The only thing they see are the things that you've done wrong. And you find out that when you're in the presence of a guilt farmer, what happens to you is that it's always a verdict. You're guilty of this, you're guilty of that. You feel judged. You feel like you're in a courtroom constantly with them, and they can never see any good in what you've done. The second type of toxic personality I'd like to talk about is what I call the leech.
Leech.
Yes. You know what a leech is? A leech is just that organism that stays to your skin and sucks blood. Now, the funny thing about the leech toxic type is that I found out that with them, they are usually very charming, they're usually very nice at the onset of the relationship. In fact, they have a very good sense of humor. These are the ones who you find out that when you're in a relationship with them, you find out you're the one doing most of the things. You don't even have an issue with doing most of these things because they're as plain and as clear as it gets. They don't hide anything. They don't seem to have an agenda. So you're very happy doing it for them. But something happens. When the leech gets to a point when they can afford to do the exact same thing you've been doing for them, all of a sudden there's a switch. And the switch is that you find out that they are not as nice as they used to be. They suddenly become very opinionated. They start speaking out. And when they start speaking out, you find out that they are not as caring or as thoughtful as you thought they were. So it's actually a relationship born out of convenience.
Parasitic relationship.
It's parasitic. The next toxicity type I'd like to talk about is what I call the choker. You see, the choker is that person where at the beginning of your relationship, they guarded you jealously. When somebody, even if a little baby looked at you, they got jealous, which was cute.
Oh.
It was so cute because, you know, they were so into you, they were so mindful of who was looking at you, and they would get jealous at every single thing.
Obsession.
Exactly. That's hence the name choker. Now, at the onset of the relationship, it sounded really cute. But when commitments become introduced and a marriage begins, you find out that the choker is the person who gradually becomes the person who becomes obsessed with you. And not only becomes obsessed with you, they usually get to a point of paranoia, where they could become the people who start recording your conversations, you know, and the other thing you notice about them is that they become suspicious
of everything
around you. And because of that, you find out that when you're around them, you can never be yourself. And what it does to you is that when you can't be yourself around somebody you're supposed to love or be in love with, something begins to happen. You begin to make mistakes around them. And for the choker, a mistake is actually a confirmation for the choker that their suspicions around you has been right all along. The other toxicity type, and this is important, is what I call the Goliaths. Now, these are the bullies in your home. The Goliath toxic type is that man or that woman. They are masters and mistresses at very subtle jokes. They will give you a subtle joke that when you go and think about it carefully, it will hurt you to the depths of your soul. And they usually don't appear that way. They are usually seen as very humorous people. They are seen as the lives of the party, but they know what to say to you to trigger you.
Maybe they are just telling a plain truth.
They are telling a plain truth, but they are not approaching it from a very empathic point of view, because their aim is for control and power. Don't forget that when it comes to toxicity, the real aim is that they are gunning for control and inadvertently power in the relationship. So what the Goliath does is he bullies you into a situation. He bullies you to a point where you don't have an opinion of yourself. You lose your self-confidence in your marriage, in your person as well, because you've been talked down so often that you don't even believe so much in yourself anymore. So what you do is you give over control to them in the home. That brings me to what I'll consider the last toxic type that I'd like to talk about. It's called the opportunist. The opportunist is a toxic type that when it's time to make key decisions, in fact, when you see the opportunist and their partner, everybody will choose them as the better of both relationships because they know what to do to their partner to trigger them. Or at a public event, for instance, you have that man and that woman sitting down and you see the husband smiling, the life of the party, everybody loves him, and you see his wife frowning. He has said something to her. He has triggered her.
Bad in public.
She's looking bad and he's there smiling and greeting everybody. And maybe he tries to talk to her, she gives an attitude, maybe because she doesn't have firm control of her emotions as much as he does. And he turns around like, you know, what did I do now? Now, for the opportunist, one of the things you notice about them is that when it comes to making decisions, they are the ones who would allow you make all the key decisions in your home, but make a mistake.
They'll prey on it.
That is when their toxic nature comes out. You can decide to go and shop at a particular supermarket. You ask him or her and they say no, just you choose anyone, but make the mistake of buying something at that supermarket and you come home and it turns out that one of the things you bought was expired. That is when their toxic nature comes in. That's when comparison set in. That's when subtle insults come in. So with this type, they are masters. They disguise their emotions carefully, but they look for the perfect opportunity to show you their toxic nature. And if you're not observant with them, you may never notice that you're with a toxic person. Lastly, I will talk about what I call them the skilled dodgers. Have you ever started a conversation with your partner and at the end of the day, they did something to you and you find out that towards the end of the conversation, you're the one apologizing. You started out the angry one. You were complaining about something you weren't happy about. I'm sure our listeners, this is something most of them will be very conversant with. You start off an argument about something you're not happy about, but towards the end, the dynamics of the discussion has changed because you're talking to somebody who plays the victim. They know how to become victims in every situation. And the moment they start playing the victim, you find out that it has a way of messing with your emotions, and at that point you hand over control to them emotionally.
I think women are more on this table.
Women are more on that table. You hand over control to them emotionally, you hand over power to them emotionally, and at that point you find out that you're the one apologizing for something that was done to you. They've become masters and mistresses in dodging conversations and taking responsibility. So if you know the type of toxic person you're dealing with, some of them have the propensity to become verbally abusive and physically abusive, but some of them do not have the propensity for physicality. So what they do is that they will only hurt you with words and they will only twist you emotionally. So when you're with any toxic type, the first thing you do is figure out the type of toxic person you're dealing with. After checking yourself to be sure
you are not
that you are
toxic
also not a toxic person. Once you figure out the type of toxicity you're dealing with, at that point the next step is you decide whether it's something you want to deal with in the situation or whether you are going to deal with it far removed from the person. And like I would always say, first things first, be introspective, look at yourself. Be sure there is nothing you're doing wrong that's making this person react in this way, so that you are sure this is not a reaction to something you've done. Once you've established that fact that this isn't a reaction, but this is who they are, the next thing is you take it up and take it to the person. Toxic people are usually bullies. And how do you handle the bully in your school or the bully in your backyard? What you do to the bully is you face the bully. That's how bullies back down. You face them. If you can't face them alone, face them with the help of other people. The moment you call them out on their bullying, they back down. Bullies are innately cowards. So when you find out that in your home you have a bully in your home, face it. Have a conversation around it. If this is a bully who beats you, then do not take it up by way of mere conversation. There are appropriate authorities out there who handle domestic violence. Go to them, get advised, and come home with that as your backup. Be aware, read, know what your options are. Don't just stay in a corner and wither and die. Know what the options are, know what you can do when you are engaged or when you are faced with violence. And lastly, if the person is willing to talk about it and the person is willing to change, then both of you can opt in for therapy, where they can further help him or her make better decisions. But not just decisions, now more lasting decisions that will positively impact your marriage.
Wow. It's been wonderful having you tonight on the show. Thank you, Temple Obike, for availing us your time.
You're welcome, Christy. Always a pleasure being here with you guys.
Temple is a psychotherapist and marriage and family therapist. Family Circle continues in a moment. Don't go nowhere. If you just joined us, this is Family Circle on the network service of Radio Nigeria, and today we're discussing handling toxic relationship. You can make your contributions to the discourse on our Facebook page, Family on Radio, or send text or WhatsApp message to the number 0803 6219 701. That is 0803 6219 701. Next up is Dija singing Save Me. Enjoy it.
Save me, save me, save me. Save me from myself. Save me from this earth. Oh, save me. Love me, love me, love me. Love me not in death. Love me while I'm here. Just love me. I'm broken down. Can't fix myself. Oh, save me now. Would you save me? Tell me, does it hurt to show a little kindness? Does it hurt to care? 'Cause I'm in the dark, I need a little guidance. Oh, save me, oh, save me. Teach me, teach me, teach me. Teach me how to fish. I know I'm so
I trust that with what you've learned today on this edition of Family Circle, you will better handle your relationships and effectively avoid violence and abuse in homes. You know I want you to be happy and enjoy your family life. Let us know what you think about all we've said on the program tonight by sending us SMS or WhatsApp message to 0803 6219 701. Also, like our Facebook page, Family on Radio. Remember to leave us a comment on Facebook. The sound manager has been Abdulmumin Seidu. My name is Christy Okoli. Family Circle returns same time, same station next week. Keep a date. Bye-bye.
You're welcome back from our network studios. This is Premier FM 93.5. It is 28 minutes past 8. So keep it locked for more exciting programs. In a few minutes, we will be bringing you Tech and You. But until then, let's listen to this song.
Fine girl, got your body, you should know, let me have it. Smell that shit, never, you cannot deny me. Now for me, I go fight for this, your loving. Fine, get it walk, but me like when I mess you up on me. I know my actions got the worst up on me. Look like the devil take this moment from me. Not the follow the gas, now you fast, now you take my heart, bro. If I ask, say me, I lose on you. My mistress, take all my money and go. Not the follow the gas, now you fast, now you take my heart.